Okay, we are back, and the Guardians have taken the wild card round against the Tampa Bay Rays in a 2-0 sweep, I guess. It feels kind of wrong to call back-to-back wins a sweep, but that's technically how the format is set up. So, let's call it a sweep for the Guardians against the Tampa Bay Rays in a series where pitching and defense were pretty dominant throughout the most part of it. I mean, there were only 4 runs scored in the entire series, so it was a lot of pitching and defense heavy. Shane Bieber and Tristan McKenzie for the Guardians were fantastic. The Rays pitchers were good too, but I didn't bother to remember or write down their names, to be quite honest. And both bullpens, for the most part, also did their job as well, except for a very shaky top of the 6th in Game 2 for the Rays, where they loaded the bases with 0 outs, but they did manage to get out of that pinch. So I guess for the Rays, good for them, even though it didn't end up holding off. And it didn't end up paying off any dividends for them in the end. So when it comes to the heroics for the Guardians, in Game 1, Jose Ramirez with his 2-run homer in Game 1 sealed it. I mean, there was still time for the Rays to score, but 2-1 ended up being the final score, and that 2-run homer were the only runs the Guardians got, obviously. And that Jose Ramirez was going to show up in this series in some way, shape, or form. Right after that, there was a challenge by Tampa Bay that was just kind of like whatever, screw it, we might as well challenge it. And this review took a stupid amount of time. It was very obvious that Rosario touched second base after one replay. I don't know why it took 5 minutes of the umps just kind of standing around and watching the same replay over and over, but whatever. And in Game 2, Oscar Gonzalez in the bottom of the 15th with a walk-off wild card series winner in Game 2, bottom of the 15th. Again, it was crazy. You can't call that a Mickey Mouse home run. That is a SpongeBob SquarePants home run. You can't. Nothing about this was Mickey Mouse. This was a SpongeBob SquarePants home run all the way. You could even hear it from the theme music. So overall in this series, again, the pitching and the defense for the Guardians was great. It was fantastic. I mean, my only issue for them is that maybe there might be some bullpen fatigue from a 15-inning game, but again, they will have a few days off before playing the Yankees, so hopefully that time they can use to rest their arms, and it won't even really matter that much and be that big of a deal. The hitting is definitely a concern for the Guardians. They have to improve on that. You can't get away with going scoreless in 14 innings against the Yankees, and you especially cannot get away with loading the bases with no outs and then getting nothing out of it. That was probably the most disappointing part of Game 2. Obviously, it didn't matter because you came out with a win, but the longer that game went, the more that the bottom of 6 definitely seemed like a missed opportunity. You get the bases loaded, no outs, with Jose Ramirez coming up to bat. It seems like a no-brainer, but he strikes out, and then Josh Naylor hits into a double play. They will play the Yankees in New York on October 11th. And just to end this video off with a little bit of a factoid, a little bit of a tidbit, this game was the longest scoreless playoff game in MLB history. The score was 0-0 for longer than any postseason game in MLB ever, which is insane. Literally witnessed history. And I do appreciate a game where the pitching and the defense is dominant. I know some people are calling this a snooze fest, but it wasn't really that much of offensive ineptitude, and more that the pitchers and the defense were just having a nuts game for both teams today. And I thought that was actually kind of fun to watch, especially when it's on such a historic scale that it ended up being on. But anyway, that's pretty much it. I said I would watch the Guardians, even though I don't really watch baseball that much, and I did. And I figured it would be kind of fun and nice to cover the series. I don't want to go over each game because I don't feel like I'm that well-versed in baseball to go over the nitty-gritty details of each game, but I will be doing a recap of each series that the Guardians are in from here on out. That's kind of how I'm going to structure these. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, please feel free to leave a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed the video and you would like to see more like it. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this series against the Rays and how you think the Guardians will fare against the Yankees coming up on the 11th. Thank you all again for watching, and I will see you at the next one.